Good morning, everyone. And a good morning it is. We have another beautiful day outside. All right, so we have everything we need to be absolutely happy. That's a statement some people resist, but it's true. You realize that is true. In any given moment, under any given circumstances, you have everything you need to be happy. But that requires an insight into your divinity. And that's what we do in Unity. Is there anybody here from another Unity church or center? Anybody here for the first time? Raise your hand if you are here for the first time. Raise your hand high. We have a gift for you. All right, down here, we have several people down here. Okay, good. Keep your hand up.
We got some people on the way in, too. So.
You got them on the way in, all right.
Oh, okay. Well, there's somebody here. Okay.
Be open and receptive to the reality of your divinity. That's what Santisha is going to be sharing with you about the truth in Unity. Look forward to this talk.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Those of you who are joining us here in person and those of you who are joining us live stream, thanks for spending some time at Unity of Boulder. I'd like to talk about a few upcoming events here at Unity of Boulder. On June 20th, we are going to be having our annual summer solstice celebration. That'll be at 8 p.m. We're going to try, providing weather works out, we're going to do it out by the garden, out in the big lawn out here. And it's just a lot of chanting and drumming just to celebrate. If you have your own hand drum, please bring it. If not, we've got plenty. But it's just a good time to celebrate the summer solstice out here at Unity of Boulder. And you don't have to sign up for it. You can just show up. An offering will be taken at the end, but you don't have to sign up or plan for it. Just show up June 20th at 8 p.m. out back here. And if it's rainy or whatever, we still have to do it inside so it doesn't get rained out. So now I'd like to welcome to our stage, we're going to have a workshop today. Come on up here, Francesco. We're going to have a workshop today, a Qigong workshop. We're welcoming back our friend Francesco Garipoli from the Qigong Institute. And he's going to be teaching a 2-hour Qigong retreat today from 1 o'clock to 3 p.m. And he is going to tell you quite a bit more about it. Okay, welcome back.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's a joy to do this every year, actually. We never intended it to be an annual event. Thanks for you guys for the music. I'm dressed to be in the band. I'll get my guitar later. Unity, to me, means unity of mind, body, and spirit. And the reason why I think Santisha likes the Qigong part of this is that it's a kinesthetic way to bring body, mind, and spirit together. So if you like to move, if you like to do a gentle kind of Tai Chi-like movements and bring a meditation in with breath and understand what the essence of unity is to me, right? Because sometimes we can get into the spiritual side or we can get into the heady space of it, but we forget the body part. And so Qigong is a way to bring the spirit part of mind and body together. And I love it for that. And it's fun, and it's a way to kind of bring heart resonance into our practice. So if you guys have some time after sermon today at 1 o'clock, please do it. And if you're at home, maybe join us in a breath. You know, understand what it means, how important it is to bring our physical part into this story of our spiritual path. So thank you all, and I look forward to sharing later with you. And thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much. This is only a once-in-a-year opportunity here. So check it out while you have the chance. Francesco Garipoli, and that's today, 1 to 3 p.m., and it's $50 to sign up, and you can sign up in the bookstore, or you can sign up at the entrance to Fellowship Hall just before the event. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity today. So this is the moment in our service where it's a call to prayer, a time, an opportunity to take to mind people that might be facing some challenges in your life and recognizing that we can be a conduit for the healing of the mind, body, and spirit, or whatever they're facing. So we write their names down on a piece of paper. We don't have to put the last name. We don't need to say what it is. we know that the universe already knows what we need before we even ask. So really, it's just us aligning ourselves with this greater power that's within us, showing us the power that can move and extend outward to bring healing to others as well as self. And so if you're facing a challenge, it's okay to write your own name down as well. This is Steve's sheets. He will come down the middle aisle and he will receive your sheets from you, and it'll go in our prayer box for a month and be prayed over every day here in-house at Unity of Boulder, and then it'll be sent to Silent Unity in Missouri for another month. So we see them whole, we see them healed, but we like to sing this song and call ourselves into the connection with this greater power we call Spirit, Source, God, whatever one makes you feel hugged and seen and loved. So join us in singing. They say to sing is to pray twice. And so it is. Amen.
Now I'd like to welcome up to our stage today's musical guest. This is a new guest musician. He's never played on this stage before. His name is Thomas Dow. He is an accomplished musician and an entertainer, and an accomplished entertainer. So let's give a warm Boulder welcome for Thomas Dow.
Thank you all so very much. I appreciate that. This song is about accepting the hard times, the dark times, as easily as we do the light times. It's called You Can't Just Be an Angel. Trying to tell you, you can't just be an angel. I keep trying to tell you, you can't just be a devil. Oh no, no, oh no, no, oh no, 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 no. There's holes in your shoes. There's wrinkles on your brow, son, baby. Nobody get away scot-free. Everybody falls to their knees. Well, love for you is bad now. will love you as broken. I will love you as spirit, but only if it is unspoken. So don't be too good and don't be too perfect. Just be a little unsure now. Don't be too good and don't be too perfect. Just be a little unsure. It's the honest Lord now, or being just a little unsure. It's the honest Lord now, being just a little unsure. You blowing on the wind now, you carried on the air. You just like cut hair now. You flew too close to the sun. I keep trying to tell you, you can't just be an angel. I keep trying to tell you, you can't just be a devil. You can't just be an angel. You can't just be an angel. If y'all want to sing, you can. You can't just be an angel. You can't just be an angel. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Thank y'all so much.
All right, we're going to do our opening joy song. Let's all stand. Get a little energy. We've got an entertainment club, a small one today, but it's something. So come on up. Anybody that wants to sing with us, come on up and join us. You might remember this. This is from the archives. We haven't done this one for at least 10 years. But it's easy enough.
Shine through.
We'll invite the YOUers up here. Here we go.
Hello. It is that time of year where I have to do the really hard thing and say goodbye to really amazing people. First, I want to thank all of you. We raised enough money to give everyone a $150 scholarship who wanted to, or who was able to go to Raleigh and pay for gas and pay for a hotel. So thank you so much for supporting us during that pancake breakfast we did. And now I'm gonna cry. First, I would like to talk about Claire here, who is one of our senior graduates. And I really got to know Claire this year, and I've really had the pleasure of getting to know you. And she is one of the most gentle people I've ever met. I don't know how else to say it. No matter what you talk about, whether it's a frustration or something that you're upset about, a worry, a joy, it's handled with such gentleness that it's an admirable quality that I see in you. I think part of that gentleness is because you are so amazingly respectful, not only to your own self and your own feelings, but also to your peers and everyone else, younger, older. You just have this amazing respect for life, for people, for the planet, which is huge. We need more of that. You are an amazingly kind and reflective young lady. I've enjoyed getting to know you, spending time with you. Your humor and the discussions that we've had, and how easily it was to rabbit hole when we talked about books and TV shows like Doctor Who, and before we know it, we're like talking about what we were not supposed to be talking about for like 10, 15 minutes and have to get back on track. It was just easy to do with you because you are so amazing and cool, and I am so honored that I had the opportunity to get to know you, and I am so excited to see what you're gonna do out in the world. And after this, I usually give the teens a moment to kind of reflect on what YU has meant for them.
Well, I just wanted to thank you, Melinda, because you're the heart and soul of YOU, and you have such a knack for making people feel comfortable and loved, and you created such a safe container for us. So like I was never afraid to just be my true self, and I feel like you guys may have felt the same. So I just wanted to thank you for that. I feel really grateful.
Thank you. And we have a gift for you. So if you want to do like cross the stage, you're graduating out into the world. Yay! Yay! Congrats, Claire, on all your success in school and in life. Okay, this is just gonna get harder. Tyler, I've known you since you were a little tyke, since you were a middle schooler. And to be fair, an annoying middle schooler. You caused a lot of strife. And then you came into YU and you became this respectful person. And to see the change, there was a moment where he heard people running, probably little ones, in the Fellowship Hall and said, "Is that what we sounded like when we were young? I'm so sorry." What an amazing awareness, acknowledgement that you can, I mean, that's growth, right? That's what we should do in life, is to have these awarenesses and grow from them. You are so unbelievably talented, and I don't think you know in what ways. Like, you've tapped into it, but I don't think you've tapped into it, and I hope that you can give yourself that grace to explore that and find that, because there's so many talents, and I've already seen probably not even half of them. And the person that you've become and who you've grown into has been such an honor to see. And the friend that I've gotten is something that I will always cherish, and I'm excited to see you go out in the world. So congrats on graduating, and I'm gonna give you the microphone.
I've been here like my entire life. So, I mean, I've grown up with friends who have been in YOU, and I mean, I've always seen them going in there, and I've wanted to go in there the entire time. They wouldn't let me. I mean, for obvious reasons, but I mean, I wish they did because the time went by super fast. I mean, I wish I got to take more time to really notice it, but I mean, this place is like everything to me, so I don't know what it's gonna be like without it. I know you won't let me leave it, but I can't come back to YOU, can I?
Maybe as a sponsor later on.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty sweet, you know?
I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah.
So if you want to cross the proverbial line, congratulations, Tyler. Now for Michael. Sorry. There's a small handful of YOUers who I've got to see transform in the most amazing way. And you were one of them. I hope that you are feeling more like you and letting that person shine from, oh man, Tyler and I had a moment. We were at a rally and it was COVID conscious, so you would have a sticker if you were okay with a fist bump, an elbow bump, a hug, or no contact. And he put no contact. He didn't want any touching. And what was it? A day later, he asked to switch over to a hug sticker. And Tyler and I are jumping up and down and we're crying because the transformation in one day, and I have just seen you grow from there. You are kind, you are introspective, you are talented. I have dug our geeking out moments talking about Doctor Who and books. Doctor Who came up a lot, I feel like. The most amazing, I feel like you are so confident now. Well, okay, see, he shrugs. I see such a change in you to the point where I asked our group who would be a leader at this rally. And without any encouragement, you said yes. You did. That's huge from where you started as a freshman. And I am so honored and so blessed. And there's so much more I want to say, but I'm supposed to keep this short. And I think you're really cool. And I hope one day you can see just a little bit or even a lot of what we see in you, because we think you're pretty cool, dude. And I'm excited to see you go out in the world, and I'm really gonna miss our friendship. And I hope that we get to stay in contact.
When I first came here, I had just moved here from California. I was 11 years old, but didn't have any friends, and completely forgot how to talk to people my age or anyone really. And then all of a sudden I joined YOU and I met all these amazing people, Melinda, Tyler, Strider, and I don't know how to put it into words exactly, but it's changed me for the better, and I cannot thank you enough for that. So, thank you.
Thank you. You want to cross that proverbial line? Congratulations. And I think that is it for right now.
All right, you got this. Love you. So, congratulations.
I like your knuckles.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay. So that just keeps happening, graduation after graduation, and having to sit through it and tell myself the truth that this is really happening, It's just an amazing thing to really let go and walk in uncharted territory as mother, in this life experience. It's my second round. I have a 27-year-old daughter, and I did it with her. But I think because I had two little ones at the time, there was a comfort in that, And now it's like my two littles aren't little anymore, right? You see how that works. So it's a process. It's not the most fun process either, I have to say. So today, my talk title is Awakening to Your True Self. I think I've probably had that title 50 times over the 25 years I've been speaking up here, but it just made sense this week with everything. Waking up to your true self. It just seems that it happens over and over and over again because self is revealed all the time. New aspects, new levels of depth, new awarenesses to the supernatural aspects of life. And a big part of why I came up with this title is because I did experience a very supernatural experience this last week that was transformative in a massive way. And so I'm going to share that in a little bit. But there's many different words for awakening, whether you call it the true self, the eminent self, or Buddha, or Christ, Tao, nature. Awareness is not the property of any religion. Awakening or realizing awareness is like awakening from a dream. The dream of your character from your play of life. Through our characters, we have experienced the world in all of its beauty and all of its ugliness. We can call this experience of life and death duality. Around and around we go, fixated on the characters, thoughts, and fixations, good and bad, war and peace, light and darkness, birth and death, until we wake up and find out we are not the character. Until we find out that we are not the character. So interesting. So it's like really a matter of getting rid of masks throughout every awakening. We let go of more of the things that we were covering about self because somehow we never thought we were good enough or were perfect extensions of this divine expression we call God or spirit, right? So we're slowly revealed to self, and sometimes it's even the aspects of ourself that we've had shame and guilt and darkness about that we've had to reveal to self to realize that even those are invited to the life in expression, right? So one of the questions I ask is, how can I be in communion with that wholeness self in me, which is not in fear, right? A big part is letting go of the fear of revealing oneself, first of all, to self, and then to other, right? Because first it's always been about the outreach out to other. And really the awakening is an inner journey of telling one the truth about our inhibitions, about our fears, about our brokenness, about our darkness, about our bad behaviors, about our addictions, about our, right? That list can go on, but it's the things that don't come into the light that keep us living small and an actor in our own world versus being that extension of this greater, beautiful life in full expression, all the good, all the hardship, all of it as truth to self and other, right? So C.G. Jung says it this way: until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So this week this is not the story I'm going to tell you in a little while, but I was in the office, and it's quiet right now. Heather had taken the day off, and my husband's out and about doing a lot of errands. I was really just alone in the office, and this young man came in and said, "Is there anyone I can talk to about spirituality?" And I said, "Yeah, come on in my office, but I have to leave the door open because the store's open right now." And he sat down, and he wanted to let me know that he figured out what life was all about. And he's 19. Let me know he's 19 years old. And he took a gap year and for 6 months just consumed as much marijuana as possible to get closer to God. And now has really tapered off the amount of the marijuana, but got this revelation. He said, "Did you know that heaven is in the very midst of us?" I mean, if that's not what we teach in Unity, I mean, so that just took bouts of marijuana, and it's amazing that at 19 he got it. But he had the terms in his own language that was, the soul was here. He kept saying the soul is here. And then this was the intellect. And so I was like, wow, it's interesting. I wasn't going to correct it because he was so proud of himself and he's so sure he's right, and I'm not here to, I mean, I love the idea that it's not, everybody's path is different, and how we find it doesn't matter, and it's not about the terms, it's about the experience, and this kid is glowing. It's amazing, really a beautiful, drop-dead, gorgeous kid. And he then goes on to let me know that he has discovered that the way to communicate as God in this world was through TikTok. I was like, oh. He goes, and I just really need you to sit with this, because all these young people are sharing their authentic selves through TikTok, and it's the collective consciousness of the people that are coming next. And it was interesting, actually. I was like, wow, that is actually really interesting. The collective consciousness, because these kids are sharing their truth. I don't know if you've ever followed TikTok, but if you follow the spiritual language that these kids share and the enlightenment, the moments that they have, these aha moments, it is transformative stuff that's coming out of their mouths. And I'm like, I mean, I know we've been all against the technical world, but it made me stop and think for a second. Because they were raised in school online and with iPads. Everything has been this technical era for them. So they would learn how to communicate their spiritual revelations through something that's the avenue of how they communicate, because community isn't really ingrained in their world. That is their community. So it was just really cool to have this 19-year-old give me a perspective from my old stodgy way that's like, we got to get rid of the media, we got to get rid of the Facebook, we got to get rid of all that stuff. That the knowledge that this kid really understood was really quite phenomenal. Except that he's just stuck in the current of how that all has to unfold versus allowing other to discover it on their own, right? And we see that even with grown people that find that awakening, that they're sure they found the way, the truth, and the light that Jesus said we could find. And yet then we don't let people move in their own experience of God to play it out, which is naturally their soul's way of playing it out, right? So that's where he's missing the mark, right? They call that sin metaphysically, is to miss the mark. Missing the mark means I know what's good for you. This path's never been about us figuring out what's good for you. That's none of your business. This path is about figuring out what is good and God for us. Source, spirit. Use whatever, replace whatever word could trigger you that I'm talking about right now. So, listening to him and sitting with him made me realize that I still can be taught something, right? I can still listen and learn from a young person their perspective. Because how are they going to get heard in this world? People constantly say that generation is lazy. There's so many negative things that they say about these people, but this kid works for Subaru here in Boulder. I don't want to give too much information, but has been hired to go and be a massive coach for all of it because of his wisdom of TikTok, because he's teaching people how to be vulnerable and authentic with the screen and actually teach them how to be raw, to make their work go further. I mean, at 19, took a gap year and smoked 6 months of pot. I wish it was just that easy, right? We've had to hit our knees and awaken, death and resurrection, death and resurrection. And I know that he hasn't gotten, and I know that he's going to get some adversity, and I did say that to him. I mean, I did say, the height at which you're expanded right now, if you don't have the Tai Chi of being able to move through life, people are going to come up against this truth that you found. That's the nature of the human world. Not everybody is able to meet you where you are, and they're going to test you, and they're going to push up against you, and they're going to make you feel like you're crazy. There's all sorts of things that are going to happen here because that's what the human condition does. We want to break the people that are feeling that freedom, that's feeling that heaven within themselves, that feel that sense of deep connection with God. And I don't know why that's the case. And I'm disappointed that I felt I needed to bring that out because you're about to go into this massive career. Be nimble. Be rooted. You Tai Chi it. People have a hard time watching success happen for somebody this easily. Just know it. It's between you and God, and be anchored in that energy, and all that human force just, I don't need to take that on. I don't need to take on your fears. I don't need to believe in your stories. I don't need to, right? That whole idea. Because so often when we have that awakening and we have that epiphany, we look for validation from other. Who understands that? We're like, well, maybe my mom will actually be supportive of it this time. You've already learned that they never are supportive of it, the first or second time. I'm not talking about you, Mom. I'm just talking about moms in general. Just so. or father, or your significant other that want to, bemoan this light place you've just discovered. And so often I always remind us that we have to keep these awakened moments kind of with self or with our spiritual community that can really, really relate and want to support and blow wind into that newfound joy, that newfound beauty for your life so that that energy's only growing it, right? So we awaken many times in a lifetime. We awaken the day we go out into the world from, graduating from high school. I see my son right now that just graduated 2 weekends ago, and at first he was very quiet and very to himself and looked really kind of broken. I think the picture of going into the world just hit him like a ton of bricks, and it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Because he is going to take a gap year, because he is a musician, and he is a singer, and he is all the creative stuff. And I was the same way in high school. I also took a gap year and went after the show business in New York and the whole bit. And then we get married, and we have an awakening with that, because we had all this picture that that person was going to fulfill us and feed us, and that was going to be the happy all forever. And then that's like, oh, this is work. And then we have children, and we have these little brand new babies, and they're so beautiful, and they're so perfect, and oh my God, all the holes in me that are broken are full right now because I'm nursing this beautiful baby, and it's staring at me with a love that nothing's ever stared at me, right? And then they get bigger. And then they turn into teenagers, right? And we know that this all makes sense because you need them to turn into teenagers and talk back for 3 years straight for you to be kind of ready for them to kind of go and let the world teach them a little bit about growing up, right? And so there are many awakenings down the road that aren't as simple as creating a peaceful and playful household for a young child. The big ones happen when you no longer find meaning in the things that once held so much weight. So when you ask yourself, what is this all for? It's when you've hit a crossroads and the journey doesn't spark intrigue or desire anymore. This happens many times in a lifetime, but one of the biggest is the one that the human condition calls the midlife crisis, where you look back on the first half of your life and you realize that there has to be more to bring to the second half of life. Who can relate with that part? So this is showing our age then. Why don't we just go down to the dealership and just go buy a fancy car? We could go do something quick to make a quick fix about it, right? Donald Walsh speaks to one of his big awakenings, and he was asking to himself, what is the point actually? What is the point of life? And much to my surprise, this is at his midlife, I was told that the point of life had nothing to do with anything that I was doing. It wasn't about my career. It wasn't about pretty much anything I was doing in the external world. It was about experience, express, demonstrate, and fulfill my true identity. Who am I? Am I a physical identity, like a bird in the sky or a fish in the sea? Perhaps more sophisticated, but just a physical entity? I'm born, I live, I die? Or is it possible that I'm more than that? Is it possible that I'm a spiritual entity simply having a physical experience? Every experience in your life has brought you to this one universal question. Who am I, or who are you? Who am I, or who are you? So I've been reading this book again, and I was going to do a women's book group on it, and we never got to it because my life has been pretty crazy for the last year and a half. But I'm going to read this passage from this book. Oh, well, actually, I'm going to skip that right there. Here we go. And it's from this book, Walking Home, A Pilgrimage from Humbled to Healed. I would highly recommend this book, and we do have quite a bit of copies of it because we did plan on doing a women's book group with it. But this is the foreword about the book. Life was falling apart. Within the space of 3 years, Sonia Choquette had suffered the unexpected death of 2 close family members, seen her marriage implode, and been let down by trusty colleagues, and sympathy was not forthcoming. Quote, "You're a world-renowned spiritual teacher and intuitive guide," people jeered. How could you not have seen this coming? Having intuitive abilities didn't make her superhuman, however. Nor did it exempt her from being wounded or suffering the pain of loss and the consequences of our all-too-human traits, such as anger, resentment, and pride, traits that can lead even the best of us to stray from our path. In order to regain her spiritual footing, Sonia turned to the age-old practice of pilgrimage and set out to walk the legendary Camino de Santiago, an 800-kilometer, 500-mile trek over the Pyrenees and across northern Spain. Day after day, she pushed through hunger, exhaustion, and pain to reach her destination. Eventually, mortification of the flesh gave way to spiritual renewal. She discovered the gifts of humility and forgiveness that she needed to repair her world. Her grueling experience, as well as the unexpected moments of grace, humor, beauty, and companionship that supported her through her darkest hours. While her journey is unique, the lessons she learned about honoring your relationships with others as well as with your own higher self and forgiving all else are universal. So if that sounds like a book that you would like to step into, it's a beautiful journey, and I just want to read a little bit of a page that she wrote. This is what she wrote of why she went on this pilgrimage. She wrote before she left on her voyage, "I prayed to God as I got ready for bed. Hopefully this would be the beginning of another way of life for me, one that would allow me to relax and receive more support. From the earliest age, I was conditioned to believe that asking for anything was selfish and a sin. Giving was better than receiving. It was spiritual. I was to simply give and not complain and act like a good Catholic girl. The only place I could look to for help was heaven, and even then I was to bother too little often with the heaven. I could ask my spirit guides to help me out, and they did all the time. I just couldn't ask people to help me. That was imposing and just plain wrong. This warped message was proving more and more to be the great undoing of all my relationships, but especially my marriage. It made me believe I didn't need much of anything, which was actually not true at all, and was why I was so agitated, especially with my husband Patrick, so much of the time. I gave and gave as I was trained to do while burying my own needs deeper and deeper." Who can relate with that? I can super relate with that. Those words are written out of my mouth. It's like, give, give, give. Like, I believe in the law that it's in giving that you receive, and I have an incredibly abundant, beautiful life. But there's a point where you can give too much. There's a point where you don't let anything fall to the side and let it fall. Like I said this to my daughter yesterday. Kati, I just want to prepare you. I'm going into some major things in these next few weeks, and I know when I'm carrying a lot of things on my shoulder, multiple things, I know it because I'm cleaning my house kind of manically. I'm like making sure the car is like detailed, like everything in my world has to be completely orderly, my bookshelves, my everything has to be, because I'm like in a place of the not knowing of these things I'm stepping into, so I take control of what I can control. Who can relate with that? Okay, now that's more honesty. Okay, so I'm in that place, and I can recognize it now instead of just go through it and let myself kind of go down that spiral. And I was on a walk with my daughter yesterday, and I said, I just want to say something. You've been home for 2 weeks from school, and I'm going to work every day. and I'm doing all of these different things. And every time I come home, there's dishes in the sink. And you're 16 years old, and you're leaving every dish in the sink. And I expect that of Tyler, but I don't expect that of you, which is really sexist, and I get it. But you know boys, if you raise boys, they're slower than girls. Girls get that aspect. We just are kind of handle a household. And she goes, well, that's just not fair. And I'm like, I'm not in the mood for the pushback right now. So I'm just asking you, when you eat something, to please clean up after yourself. Well, Tyler never does it. I'm like, I'm not dealing with Tyler. I'm dealing with you right now, right? So, but it's just that teenage pushback. And I said to her, I'm at that point where I've given for 4 months, and you know in that moment when mom blows a gasket, I am warning you. I am there now. I got it. She came home, was like, how can I help you? I'm like, okay. I was so proud of myself. I didn't blow. I gave the warning, right? So it's that constant giving, right, where you just realize that, does anybody ever think about what my needs are? I don't think that crosses anybody's mind in my world. What is Cinticia's needs? Because I'm always doing everything. And I know my kids don't think about that. I don't think my husband really thinks about that because I do it all, right? So this is where my awakening is happening right now. I'm dropping the oars, man. This house is going to go to hell in a handbasket, and I don't care. I got so much to do with my career right now, and I do not care if this place becomes a pigsty. It's not up to me, and it's none of my business anymore. I bet you liked the last 18 years of that beautiful little household that you lived in. It's over. So, right? So, this awakening came from an experience that I had last Thursday. So, every day I've made a commitment to plunging in the river in Lyons. My husband comes with me, and we go 30 minutes in that freezing river each day at 2:30 usually, with my friend Ed. He's the one that turned us on to it. He's been doing it for years. He even does it in the winter. I'm just a spring and summer girl to doing it. And it's an unbelievable, it has health benefits, it has all these healing modalities in it, and it is bringing a peace and clarity. Like when I'm in that freezing state, I get like a bigger picture of life. It's like an eagle looking down on your life of what is needed, what's wanted, what's necessary for this time. And it's like a deeper meditation than anything you can imagine. So on Thursday, we went into our plunge, and we were all running late, so I had to keep telling Ed, oh, we're probably not going to get there till 3. Usually it's at 2:30, but the time kept changing. We didn't get into the river till about 3:10. And we all collected, and we jump in the water, and we start timing it. So we're probably in there about 10 or 15 minutes, and we're just sitting in the Zen place. We're usually very, very quiet. The river's been getting deeper and deeper recently, too, so it's getting really, really crazy. And my friend Ed says, God, this is a dangerous river now. Like, I hope they're not doing any tubing. They need to stop the tubing because, I mean, it is just crashing. It's crazy right now. And right when he says that, we hear screaming in the river. Okay, so we're all three standing in a sandbar that's kind of like in a little enclave so that we're kind of protected by the craziness of the river. And we look up, and we're first see like feet, and then we see like hands going like this, and then like we see like eyes, and it's just pure terror. And we all just stood up. It was like as if we had been in a training session, and this is the thing that happened that day. Mike just reached back and grabbed my hand. I just reached back to Ed, and Ed grabs a tree. We get out to that river as far as we can, and Mike goes, grab my hand as hard as you can. If you understand, when you've been in the water for 10 or 15 minutes, you have no grab in your hand. There's absolutely nothing in your hand to grab somebody, and this is a large lady that was coming down this river. And this bolt of lightning went through our hands of a strength that I cannot explain to you. First, we had to pull her out of this river, and she flew out of the river. As she flew out of the river, a body goes floating by us, not moving. And she says, he's having a seizure to us. So, I mean, this whole thing is just like unbelievable. And she's got a shattered ankle. So we have her on the side. Mike immediately goes running. As he's running, I now witness the whole park, and everybody is in this divine dance. Everybody was hired by the universe for this moment. I mean, it was like, then these two guys with like a life thing over the shoulder, because they have them at like a couple inlets, the ring, are running. Mike's running with them down. I can't see what happens with this situation, but when I walk up the stairs, there's all these disabled people going towards the river with no leader, and she says, I'm the one that's looking after them, the one that just broke her ankle that we just saved. So I'm now corralling all these people that are scared for her, that just watched their friend go into the river, and I'm having to move them all back from the river, and she says, don't touch any of them, they don't like being touched. I mean, I'm in so much shock. But the slowness of the world and the definite knowing of what to do in me, it reminds me, we've all had these here and there, when we've almost been in a car accident, or we've just recalculated in a way. I was sent there that day. Mike was sent there that day. And there's no way, we've never been in a river rescue. The way our bodies just did what was so, like as if we'd been working as a rescue person forever, the natural synergy of what it takes. And when they got to the other end, there happened to be a fisherman on this end that was holding for dear life on that kid, and the rest of those guys' bodies got him out of the middle of that river, and he lived too. Unbelievable miracle. Nobody got hurt. But what if we'd gone at 2:30 when we normally go? All those little idiosyncrasies that put us out of the time frame of what we do. When I really look at the situation, and I'm sharing it with you, it's look at those situations where there's like a divine order to even the most terrifying things in this world. And if there's a divine power that's orchestrating everything of life like that, but every once in a while we sink out and we're in the matrix. It was like being in the matrix. You saw the order of something. You saw that you're part of the divine order of all of it. That there's some sort of a sequence, and there's some sort of a light, and there's some sort of something to everything that's happening in our life right now. If that's the case, then who would you be, and who are you? You're divine. That's all you have to know. You don't have to figure out all these different things that we have to tackle and how we have to do it. Just stop cleaning the house, let the kids take it over. And in the end, get out of your own way. Take that time to be with soul, because the soul knows every second, every minute, every need, every want of where you need to be, where you need to show up, where you need to heal yourself, where you need to be. That is awakening, is living within the awakening that's happening all day, every day. All right, love you. Bless you.
Well, some wonderful insights and sharing an experience of our reality as being divine. You can't get any higher than that. So we have the opportunity to give back and support what takes place here in Unity. And so I'm speaking to you as well that are watching this on live stream. You have a QR code, those of you that are sitting here, have a QR code you can use if you want to give through PayPal or Vimno. And then those watching on live stream, you can go to the right-hand corner of this if you're watching this on the website and hit that, and you will be given the ways to tithe to Unity of Boulder. So we have freely received, once again, we have the opportunity to freely give back. Let's take our tithes into our hands, into our hearts, and bless them with this offering prayer. divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And we have the opportunity to have our new guest entertainer share another song with us. Step up to the mic. Thank you.
This song is about if you don't have a lot of money, you can still have all the love that you need. Yeah, I got that perfect body, my teeth so white and my curves so haughty. Yeah, my credit so damn fine. Got the platinum when I dine, and that big house is mine, mine, mine. Who does it serve? That big house is mine, mine, mine. Who does it serve? Across the street in a rundown trailer lives a single mom. She's a part-time tailor. She lost her man, true American sailor. She ain't got the bling, but to her daughter she sang. Oh, she sings. She sang. Oh, she sings. Yeah, my kids go to the private schools. They ain't gonna be nobody's fool. Well, they don't want the money, they always cool. Credit's fine, got the platinum when they dine, and that big house is mine, mine, mine. Who does it serve? That big house is mine, mine, mine. Who does it serve? Across the street in a rundown trailer lives a single mom. She's a part-time tailor. She lost her man, true American sailor. She ain't got the bling, but to her daughter she sang. Oh, she sang. She sang. Oh, she sings. She sang. Oh, she sings. She sang. Oh, she sings. The simple shall rise. The simple shall rise. The simple shall rise. The simple shall rise.
Thank you for your beautiful music offering today. Really appreciate it. It's beautiful. We'll have you back for sure. Enjoyed it. And now we want to let you know that we have prayer partners available to you. We can have the prayer partners rise. If you're facing a challenge or even a joy you'd like to share, you can just stay seated in your seat in the sanctuary, and they will come and find you and pray with you. The circle that we're going to be doing, if you want to come discuss the sermon, will actually be taking place in the bookstore. We've got a circle in there, and fellowship is happening in there, so we could keep the room clean for Qigong, the workshop that starts at 1 o'clock. You definitely don't want to miss this. Register for it in the bookstore right after the service, and it's from 1 to 4. And we will all rise and we'll circle up and we'll sing Let There Be Peace on Earth. So that means you go around these two middle pews into a circle. All right, here we go.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let's hear you. I can't hear you sing. Let's sing a little louder. Let this be the moment. There you are. Now. May every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to taste and live in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it
And a spiritual center that sings and dances together stays together. Here we go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Not you guys, we hear you. In the Spirit. In my heart. You sound awesome. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Beautiful singing. We'll see you next week, or I'll see you at the circle in the bookstore.